My wife was acting up, so I traumatized her forever. Me and my wife spotted my doppelganger while driving, and I was practically dying laughing. Meanwhile, my wife looked as serious as ever, so to cheer her up, I jokingly told her to turn that frown upside down. But instead of laughing, she just gave me the silent treatment. And honestly, this might sound bad, but I just figured she was on her period or something. Little did I know that one incident would send our marriage straight into the gutter. But that'll come later in the story, because I didn't even think about it again until a month later, when I was in the gym with my wife and had finished running 5 miles. I was about to hop off, but then my wife encouraged me to run one more. This would have been fine, except I was already extremely red, sweaty, and had already thrown up from running too much. And in a split second, I thought back to who I was when I first met my wife. Back then, my fitness goal was to get as close to a human version of the Hulk as possible. But somehow, over time, my wife had convinced me to strive to be skinny. Suddenly, I got this deep nagging feeling in my chest, because it wasn't just my fitness goals that had changed. I had dyed my blonde hair to black, gotten a tattoo sleeve on my right arm, and even deepened my voice. And before you guys judge me for being a simp or whatever, just don't, because you don't know how it feels to be balls deep into the scheme of a manipulator until it's too late. So every night that week, I tried to ask her questions about her past, and when I asked about her ex, what he looked like, his name, anything, she immediately shut down the conversation. Well, I'm a bit of a social media expert, so after rooting through her Facebook all night, I found him myself, and when I did, my stomach dropped. Remember when I said the doppelganger we ran into would be relevant to the story? Well, turns out that wasn't just some stranger, it was her first love, and as I stalked the crap out of this guy, everything started to click. We had identical tattoo sleeves, like inch for inch, same colored hair, and, you guessed it, the exact same build. I vomited in my mouth, and my veins were instantly filled with adrenaline, because somehow, my wife had managed to replace her ex with his carbon copy, me. And as I thought about how we met, things started to make sense, because it was at the cafe I had gone to for years, and we just happened to run into each other for the first time ever. Well, I needed answers, so after scouring the internet, I found it. And guess where? In a Reddit community. You see, years before me and my wife met, she had posted a photo of her ex. Captioned below was, "Has anyone seen someone who looks like this?" So basically, my wife was a psycho, and this is how she replaced her ex with me. But instead of confronting her, or immediately filing for divorce, my revenge came a year later. She had just come home after a long day of work, and as she unlocked the door of our once beautiful home, she looked over to the couch, and, right there in the center, was me and her doppelganger making love. No doppelgangers were hurt in this story, because she knew what she was getting herself into, and was somehow down to help. And, like a pig in a fire, my ugly wife shrieked at the top of her lungs. After that, we divorced, and she was left with nothing but our cats and $300.